Imagine a game without limits. A world where you can build anything from spaceships to orbital stations. Explore, craft, trade, and conquer, all in one universe, shared by everyone at the same time. Forge your collective story. This is your world. Rebuild civilization together. Dual Universe. Support us on Kickstarter now.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the 11th episode of Dual Universe Explorers. For those of you who are new here, either watching out there on Twitch or on YouTube, Dual Universe Explorers is composed of a group of fans that came together from the Dual Universe forums to discuss the latest news about the game every week. We talk about everything from news shared on NovaQuark's social media pages to the hypothetical mechanics. Most especially, we muse about what we want out of the game, and then we let our imagination possibilities. Of course, with that being said, we want to remind everyone that the opinions expressed on this show are our own, and we are in no way affiliated with NovaQuark or anyone employed by NovaQuark. With that out of the way, my name is Scruggs, and I'll be your host for today. Joining me, we have Cayman, our producer Yamamushi, and we also have with us Cyberwyber and Wilkes. He's in chat. So then, with the introductions out of the way, we did want to go ahead and get to our first piece of news, which the Kickstarter campaign. That was launched on the goodness.
I believe the 31st of.
No, it was launched on September the 7th, Wednesday.
Excellent. So it's only been a couple days. They're already at over 2,500 backers. They're over $226,000. I don't really know what that equals out in euros, but they're a little less than halfway there.
Yeah, they're doing good.
That's
really
impressive for only 3 days.
Right?
It really is.
Yeah, because we've got, when you've got 2,500 people, these are all the people that were just like, couldn't wait for this game to start a Kickstarter. So everybody that's pledged are the people that have been waiting for this to come on Kickstarter. Now the kind of battle is, getting people who haven't really heard about the game to see it and understand it, and then, put money behind it.
Yep, and that's hopefully what we'll start to get. And I just looked it up. It's for euros. It's 202,796.
They're really not asking much in the way of Kickstarter when it comes to games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd much rather them be crowdfunded so they have the independence to do what they want to do than to have a publisher really behind them controlling and pulling the strings. Like, we've seen some cases where the publishers have really just crippled the game studio and inhibited excuse me, let me try my words again. Where they've really just inhibited the game.
Exactly. And I think that doing crowdfunding is a much better idea than the way they're going is the way they should be going, I feel like. In that way, they don't have to worry about sacrificing any of the integrity of the game for anybody else's vision except their own.
Exactly. They don't have to worry about any producers getting in the way.
Unlike certain other games.
Yeah.
Shots fired. Didn't take long.
Yeah. So that, man, it just, the only thing we just have to let people know about this game, and it just went up right now as I'm watching it right now. So somebody just pledged, so that's kind of cool. But it's, not only do we have to let people know about this game, but there are some people that have misconceptions about what this game will be, and they assume that because they've seen games like Star Citizen, or Star Citizen is probably the closest example that we can get about, a crowdfunded game that maybe just took a while, took a lot of money to get where they're at. And the misconception is that this game is going to be something like Star Citizen, and it's a huge difference because, with that game, they have to build everything from the ground up. With Dual Universe, they're supplying the tools, and they're giving us a sandbox. So their goal is to make the tools as best they can, refine them, make the sandbox as awesome as possible, and then let us have fun.
It's in space. Really the only comparison between Star Citizen and this game will be that they're both kind of in space, but not really.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah. So people that are comparing the two, as if one is going to lead to an idea of the other, or if one is an example of what the other is going to be, it just wouldn't work. These games are not the same, not even close. And the other thing that I think people have a misconception about is the subscription fees, things like that. But I think that's going to be what helps keep this game alive and keeping it, so that people are not just flooding it with garbage. So I mean, there's
hopefully,
yeah, exactly, yeah, hopefully. So when we look at the Kickstarter page, I mean, there's a video on there and everything, which we'll either leave a link for or play in the background here at some point. But there's also the pledges, or what you actually get for pledging to the game, and I think we wanted to go over that just so that you guys have an idea. If you haven't already looked at the Kickstarter page, which I'm pretty sure most of the people that are watching this show have seen the Kickstarter page, but if you haven't, there are with any Kickstarter you get rewards for pledging.
Well, what did you guys back at? What have you guys?
I backed at the early bird gold.
Yeah. I backed at
I have yet to back because I currently have insufficient funds for anything at the moment.
Oh, don't let that stop you. Don't let it stop you, because so that was my main concern at first, because I'm on a limited budget. And once you actually look at what Kickstarter does, is they do not pull the money from your account unless two conditions are met. One, that the money is that their goal is reached, which I'm really hoping happens. But two, the date of October 11th, 2016 is hit. So like once they hit October 11th, 2016 and they've met their goal, that is when the project is funded. So you have time to save for that. Pledging it doesn't give them the money right now. It just says, look, when this date comes, I intend to give you this money. So if you don't have the money now, but you know that you can have it by October 11th, still pledge. And they've got, they have relatively smaller packages. You may not be able to get into the alpha.
I backed at a early bird emerald.
Holy shit.
Kyrium Founder Pack? Jesus!
I found it at the Ruby level.
The Kyrium Founder Pack for $7,000 looks. You get a day out with the bloody team.
And the thing is
that a day out with the team.
3 of them have
people.
sold. Yeah.
3. That's cool. Like no amount of time would allow me to back that much money, but that is phenomenal. Wow. Yeah, so with that, you did the Emerald early bird? And the ruby.
The Ruby early bird, yes.
So let's explain what these packs actually are,
Okay.
so people know.
Yeah, start from the lowest.
Who wants to go first? Cyber, go ahead and read off. Do you have the page open?
Yes, I do.
All right, go ahead and start us off. Let's hear what the Iron Early Bird and the Iron Pack is.
Okay, if you were to back the game at the Iron Founder Pack or the Early Bird, you just get the game at launch, thanks in the credits as an early backer, the form title of Iron Founder, and 2 DACs, which I will just abbreviate as DACs, with €36 post-release value. The Iron Founder is the same.
It may be worth explaining what a DAC
Yeah.
is.
Anyone want to take that so that I don't get bored of my voice?
All right. Those are dual access coupons. And basically what that means is it's a month of game time. So you get 2 months of game time with the Iron Founder pack once the game releases.
It's worth pointing out that they are more expensive than an actual subscription. Just like Plex and Eve is. Plex costs more than it costs to subscribe to the game. But that's on purpose.
It's because they're transferable. So you can sell them in-game.
Yeah, so when you start the game, and if you have these DACs, you could sell them on the market for money, or you can use them to subscribe for the game. But either way, you're getting more value out of it than you're putting in for the Kickstarter.
Exactly, and moving on, the €25 package, known as the Bronze Founder Pack, the early bird version, has the exact same as the Iron, except you get 4 DACs, which is €72, so you get 4 months subscription and the original soundtrack. Now, I haven't seen much of the soundtrack of Dual Universe, but with the team behind it, usually like 100% of all space games have an awesome soundtrack.
Now, on the Kickstarter, they actually have a sample of the soundtrack up right now.
It's 10 songs, too.
Yeah, and they also they put the link on Facebook for the SoundCloud because they've released some of the music.
So that's pretty awesome.
The Silver Founder Pack, which is €50 or more, you get thanks, you get the Founder Silver Founder title, and you get 10 DACs, the original soundtrack, and an ID card in Arkship Passenger, and an in-game pet at level 1. Not to mention closed beta access key.
Now, beta won't start until 2018. They're thinking perhaps, what did they say, summer of 2018 or something?
Yeah,
maybe
I think so.
Might be a little bit later, because the estimated delivery says December 2018. So it could be, summer, fall, winter. In 2018 is a good bet.
I did not know Dual Universe was going to have pets.
Yeah,
No.
they're little robotic creatures, kind of. is what it says.
So I can
It's
have
worth
my little robot dog.
It's
called
worth
Sparky.
clarifying that only Kickstarter backers are going to get these pets. Because we asked them about it, and they said, the only way you can get it, like a level 2 pet or level 3 or whatever higher, is to back in Kickstarter. So it's something that only backers will have access to.
Moving on, the Gold Founder Pack.
Oh, you skipped one.
That is just the silver pack. It has the difference between them is not really much. Yeah. The early bird one is just something I believe you can get as a specific backer. Yeah. I just keep us within time constraints. We'll just keep the early bird ones and the normal versions separated from each other. Ooh. Having a look at the gold founder pack, includes 20 DACs, an in-game pet level 1 and an in-game pet level 2, along with beta access, alpha access, and an alpha team outfit, and the Dual Universe t-shirt. Ooh. They're really going up.
And that's why I pledged to the gold one, because you get the alpha access with that.
Yeah.
And alpha access for 100, I mean, it's $112 US, and I remember backing ArcAge at $150, and I got alpha access. And ArcAge was like a drop in the bucket compared to what Dual Universe is. I mean, what it has shown
ArcAge
us.
was a Oh, don't get me started about ArcAge, please.
Yeah, I don't think many people have positive feelings about ArcAge. I was at PAX, and I was at the Twitch party at PAX, and I was talking to this guy, and I was like, "So what do you stream?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't stream. I work for Tryon." He's like, "I'm a community blah 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 for ArcAge," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." I just walked away.
You slowly backed away.
No, all I remember about ArcAge was playing it, and then just in the first, like when I backed it on Kickstarter, I gave it like £10, which is like $15 USD, and then it just came to day one launch, and then I just remember seeing a picture on the forums of just a skeleton on the keyboard, which is waiting time 234 days.
I mean, ArcAge was fun in alpha, though, so I will say, for the amount of money I put into ArcAge, I definitely got my money. I felt like my money's worth out of how many hours I put into the alpha and playing it. It was super fun, and I really enjoyed it. It's just that, you know, by the time it hit release and so much had changed, it just wasn't fun anymore.
The $200 or more Sapphire Founder Pack includes 40 DAX. That's 40 months. Jesus. In-game pets from level 1 to 2 and 3. Alpha access, beta access. You get a t-shirt, a poster, a tote bag, an art book, and a metallic box. Now that is quite awesome. You get a
just to
box.
clarify, that box is what it's going to, everything's going to come in from what I understand, like the game package and the CDs and stuff.
No.
Oh, nice.
Different.
Different?
That is a different tier level. The metallic box is the box like a game disc will come in, but there's actually another box at one of the next tiers.
Oh, okay.
You were thinking of the Dual Universe Collector's Box, I think.
Yes.
Okay. Never mind.
The Ruby Founder Pack. This includes a lifetime subscription. Now that's a jump up. Oh my lord. You get pets level 1, 2, 3, and 4 alpha access, beta access. You also get the team outfit. Is that a custom in-game outfit? I take it.
Yes, it is.
Ooh. Like, have they really discussed about how customization is going to work on your character?
Not to a very detailed extent. Not yet.
I mean, that's probably further down the roadmap. They just want to iron out the systems as of yet.
Yeah.
But anyway, you get a t-shirt, poster, tote bag, art book, metallic box, the collector's box, which I think we confused the metallic box for, the Arc Ship USB key, and Alpha Team member statue, male or female. You get a statue? My god.
A real statue. That's a physical statue. That's not a digital one. I thought it was a digital one. No, you're actually getting like a legit, 3D printed statue.
I really
that's
wanted
the
to
one that
found
I
it.
went for.
Man, I really wanted to found at that level. Just time does not permit.
Ruby, I think, is the best value, because if you play for, let's say the game costs $13, right, a month. So, what's 400 divided by 13? You need to play for 30 months to break even. So that's roughly 2.5 years.
Yep.
Okay.
I just did it for the USB key.
I just need a flash drive.
I mean, that seems to be one of the more popular higher end ones, because there's only 7 of them left.
Oh wow.
The Emerald Founder Pack. You get 80 DAX. Jesus, lifetime subscription, pets going from level 1 all the way up to level 5. Oh, collector's box, the USB, the statue, Alpha Team member statue, Alpha Team Oh, you get a custom avatar portrait and an hour call conference with JC.
So you're going to be streaming that, right, Yama?
No. That's just going to be like talking about anything that's not dual universe.
Oh, okay. Never mind that.
Diamond founder pack, which, oh lord. Pets level 1 through 5, the USB and the clothing outlets, the statues, and you get an hour call conference with JC and half a day with JC and the team.
Not to forget another 80 decks.
Yeah, you get 160 DAX, which is valued at 2,800.
And then we got, what is this, Kyrium?
I believe we're going to say the Kyrium founder pack.
That's
This
the
is a
stuff that the
lot of
Arc ship
stuff.
is made out of.
Jesus. 160 DAX. Lifetime subscription. ID card. Arcship passenger Kyrium level. You get 1 through 5 level pets. Oh, you get the USB, the statues, the custom avatar portrait. An hour call conference with JC. A day with JC and the team. And development of a DU secret. Ooh.
What does that mean, though? You get to make something in the game?
I have a theory about what that kind of could mean, because if you read the lore, one of the last chapter of the lore is like this cryptic description of like the character, like the main character going and building this statue, and
yeah.
So he like I'll just go through what happens. Like he builds this statue or like this monolith or some shape in the ground to mark where he was. And then he leaves for a couple of hours, and when he comes back, there's another statue right next to his. And so, like, I have to read through the story again to fully understand what happened in it. But he ends up building this statue, and, like, every time he comes back to it, like, there's another statue there as if somebody else is communicating with him. And what ends up happening is, like, some blueprint for some awesome element shows up in front of him. Like it just appears randomly as he's been communicating with like this higher dimensional being that's like communicating with them. I think that may be a part of like this secrets thing, like secrets that you have to unlock by doing things that otherwise aren't documented.
Okay. That would be really cool.
That's just my theory is what that could possibly mean. And another thing it could mean is like, you know, the story in the game, the actual lore and stuff that's going to come down later down the road.
You know what? Next time I get paid, I'm making sure I'm going to drop 100. I mean, it's 100 euros, so that means it's probably going to cost me about maybe 60 quid.
Yeah, you're the only one who's getting a good deal.
It's going to be... wait, here we go, because the British market crashed again. It's going to be 84.66.
Yeah.
Oh, see, it's
like $112 US.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Damn it. That's cool though, but you should do it. Just do it.
Just do it. Get the gold founder.
Yeah. I mean, what is there? Girl, is the gold early bird still there? Yeah, because that basically there's only 57 of those left. Then once those go away, it goes up to.
Right now, in order for them to break even at 500,000, just to meet the 500,000, at a bare minimum on Kickstarter, they need to raise 10,000 euros a day.
I think they can do it.
That's just the average.
I think they can do it too. It's just, you know, nail biting, waiting.
Yeah, we just have to be. I think if you know, we are as proactive as we can be and letting people know about the game, And
Who is more nervous here? Are we more nervous than Nova Quark? Like, are they? Because clearly, like, they have to have some sort of plan about what they're going to do if they don't meet the Kickstarter. But we're nervous because we want the Kickstarter to go through, not only because we want it to get funded, but because we want our rewards.
Yeah, we want all this really cool stuff, and we don't want anyone else involved in the game making process, because that could change the vision. So I mean, they probably do have a backup plan. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But
yeah, but let's not.
We don't
rely
want
on a
them to
backup
have
plan.
to use it. Yeah, we don't want them to have to use that. We want them to be able to fund it with this. So
Make the game that we want to play, not the game that some publisher is going to tell them to make.
yeah, they want them to make the game that they can market, not the game that we want.
I mean, they need, like, it comes back to my point earlier about they need to remain independent in order to achieve what they want to achieve. Otherwise, we might see some paid expansions creep their way into Dual Universe, and I think that would pretty much kill the community.
Well, I mean, if they do like classic expansions, I wouldn't mind something like that. But if I'm talking about, like, if they start doing, I forgot the term for it because I don't buy it.
EVE Online?
No, the whenever a game releases extra stuff that you've got to, I forget, what is that stuff?
Paid DLC.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, I don't buy
Like
that.
Arc.
I don't buy that stuff. I forgot what it's called because I don't ever buy it. Stuff.
No, I think that the DLC, I mean, not DLC, I think that the expansion model they're going for is like EVE, where like every 6 months there's a major patch. And they even said this in one of the interviews recently that they did this week. But like an expansion will be like new elements that they will introduce into the game, or new recipes, or some new feature. Like, so Stargates is going to be one of those things that is not in the game at launch. And he's perfectly straight up and honest about that. But he says, and it makes sense to me too, that it doesn't really matter that they're not in the game at launch, because none of us would have been able to use them anyways. And so later on, in another later expansion, they may introduce, like, okay, this patch is going to add all of these elements that are components that you need in order to build the Stargate. So they wouldn't necessarily just add the Stargate. They would, like, add things that you put together to otherwise unlock these new features. But they'd be free too. They wouldn't be like things you have to pay more money to, because that's what your subscription is paying for. You're paying the subscription so you get all the expansions and everything.
Ah, okay. I like that. I like that better than than doing DLC or even paid expansions. So that's cool.
I mean, to be honest, I'm a little. Nobody explained to me. Like, I saw some videos and I saw some brief mentions of it. How are Stargates going to work exactly? Are they just 2 points that can simultaneously take you to a different point? So to
Okay.
go from A to B instantly?
Yes.
Yes.
But building a Stargate is not going to be a trivial task. Like, building a Stargate will either involve you getting in a ship and flying somewhere for several weeks with other people at faster than light speed to get somewhere to build the other end of your Stargate, or you sending a probe that travels by itself unmanned to the other star systems, and then when it gets there, it creates a seed that you jump to. You can jump a couple of ships to it and then begin building the other side of your Stargate there. But building a Stargate will be something that, like, takes weeks or months to complete.
Not to mention the travel time.
But by doing it, there's like a huge incentive. Like, there would be a reason why you want to do it. Like, oh shit, there's a ton of rare resources out there, and if we invest this amount of time and energy into trying to go get those resources, this is what we can get out of, like, using them. I don't know. I just think that there's clearly going to be a reason why you build a Stargate and why you go through all the effort of traveling to get to another star. Like, you don't just pick a random star and go there. Like, you scan one down and, like, oh man, there's a ton of gold here. Like, we could We could get rich if we just put in a little bit of work.
Well, there's obvious expansion.
Yeah, expanding space. There could be like strategic value to owning a star system.
I mean, have they explained how the spawning of resources is going to work? Say Planet A has some special element that is required for the construction of a certain cannon. That would make it a strategic, like, valuable asset if that Planet A is the only planet that can produce Weapon A, whereas Planet B can produce Missile C, or something like that. Each element combines it to create a certain weapon or certain object, like
It
Planet B
kind of seems
has
like they lead
titanium.
into that. Like when he talks about like rare resources, like and having to go to other planets to get something, it kind of seems like that would be a reason why, like, oh, we want to build missiles of this type, like this damage type, but the only way we can do that is if we go here and start getting the resources from this planet. Like, we want to be the only, alliance that has access to these weapons, so we're going to put in the effort to go here and get the specific resource that we need. I don't know, but they haven't like explicitly said that, I don't think. But it just kind of seems like that's what the natural description of that would lead to.
Definitely. Let's see. I did want to just mention as well. There's been some changes on the website. Nothing too big. They threw the Kickstarter link on there for the Dual Universe website, and then they also have a video on there. You can check that out. Some minor changes on there. And then I did also want to mention as well, they've updated the alpha team for the forums. So we've got Cayman and Yamamushi are on there. Wilkes also on there now.
I'm hoping the warden is just a typo for my name. I've searched. I haven't been able to find a warden anywhere, so...
There's a warden. I always thought it was you.
Is. No.
I was like, man, I never see Wardian's post. I always see Warden, though, so I'm pretty sure this is just Wardian.
It's okay, Wardian. We're on the same boat, floating down the River of Tears. I'm just
I mean, we got a while before Alpha. I'm sure you guys will make it in.
Well, I pledged for the Alpha access, so it's all good, even if I don't.
Same here.
No, that's my question. If you are in Alpha and you pledge for Alpha, does that mean you end up with 2 Alpha keys?
That would be cool, because if that was the case, then you could
give one away.
Or that would be awesome. It's like, hey, look here, try this out.
I'd like to give one away to somebody I know would actually enjoy the game, and not just some random person who's gonna like play it for 10 minutes and be like, I hate this, and quit.
Well, exactly. But also, I mean, you'd want to let them know too that even
alpha.
JC has said that it's alpha, so don't expect to jump in and be like, oh my god, this is the best shit ever. It's like you're gonna jump in. Some things may not work right because it's alpha. I mean, it's it's there, but
Alpha team's mostly there to test everything, look for bugs, actually find the bugs so that they can
report them.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like if you don't intend to do that, maybe alpha access not the best for that.
Alpha, I don't think is necessarily the place to jump in and like
judge whether or not it's a great. You don't want to jump in and say. You don't want to make a judgment based off of alpha access.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be like getting into giant intergalactic or interstellar territorial wars and like getting in. I mean, Stargates are not going to be an alpha. So, like, major things about the game are not going to be there. But the reason that I think one of the big things about alpha is testing that the network architecture actually works, so that when we all get in, it's not all laggy and horrible. Yeah.
And also testing the tools that we have for building. I think that's what they said the primary goal was. I know there's not going to be combat in alpha.
Making sure all the elements work.
Yeah.
And of course, looking for major game-breaking bugs. please don't be one of the people that sit on a Duke bug for 6 months because you don't want to give up an advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would never do that.
It almost sounded like sarcasm, but I think you're telling the truth.
I mean, to be honest, everyone will abuse anything they can. Alpha is really just like, they're probably just going to wipe everyone when they get up to beta.
Yes.
Just
So
to
they've
give
already
the
stated
beta
as much.
people a fair advantage.
That they're going to wipe everything at alpha at the end of alpha, at the beginning of beta, and then again at whenever the game
Yeah,
launches.
the launch. I mean, alpha is literally just, they put assets in there and just see what the hell happens and fix the stuff that mainly foobars up the server and such.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably going to be monitoring the logs, so if they see, like, I don't know, Cyberwiber has, like, 10 million bloody titanium, alloys, I'm pretty sure they're going to go, oh, where'd you get those? I don't remember that being on your planet that doesn't even have a piece of titanium on it.
You know,
Yeah.
I just kind of throwing out a random thought here. I don't think that there's going to be, if in the beginning of the game there's only, say 2,000 of us or, a couple of thousand of us playing, I don't think there's going to be these giant, massive battles and like, I don't think that the world is going to be necessarily as dangerous as like people are afraid that it will turn out for like an open PvP game. I think that for the most part things will be peaceful and people will generally be working together to just expand the game, as opposed to constantly killing each other and destroying any effort to get out into space.
Well, most definitely. I think, especially in the beginning of the game, like you were saying, people are going to be more willing to work together, and they're just not going to have. I mean, when it's first starting out, there's no reason to go and attack somebody else. You can just go to a different space in the same planet. I think things like that may come later on. If there's a huge population, people may decide, okay, well, I need to fight for this resource.
Yeah, when the population grows and like there are a lot of people in the game, then it will matter. And then things might be clearly very different.
Unless you're one of the special snowflakes that everyone hates.
Yes. Well, those are a lot more common than you think, so they're not so special snowflakes. I mean, come on. We come from a generation that knows what Goonswarm is. So.
Hey. Not all of us are bad.
Don't mention that bloody word, goo.
Have I just spoken blasphemy?
Oh,
Yep.
Yes.
goons.
You all removed.
I have something to add about the alpha.
Okay.
Nizeltar has made it apparent to everyone who is an alpha member, like the ones they select on the forums, that we're the sort of representatives of the game. And so I'm kind of thinking that they want us to not only, of course, help them in the alpha, but to promote the good aspects about what the game is to the populace.
Yep.
Well, that's why we're here.
Yeah, I'm sure that will not happen if none of us are cooperating and we're just too busy trying to shoot each other or trap each other. It's more likely in the original alpha.
There could be some aspects to fighting each other just to work it out.
I'm sure. I'm just saying I don't think their real goal of getting certain alpha members in is to watch them be douchebags to each other.
Oh, yeah, like, I don't want to see a bunch of naked people around the spawn just punching each other for that one iron ore.
What I will say is that I am fully anticipating, or I have a deep belief that those of us who have been selected from the forums for alpha will get earlier access than the people who have backed on Kickstarter. That's just my suspicion.
I would almost consider it, Yama, as closed alpha access instead of just the regular alpha access.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what the point of that would be. I mean,
to test out the client and for us to give, like, Ideally, when alpha launches, right, there's going to be like 1,000 people who have backed in order to get into alpha. Ideally,
Yes.
when those 1,000 people get alpha, the game actually works for them. So if they can release it to like, you know, a small handful of people first, then they can at least say like, okay, then the game actually works for other people. I don't know. It's just my suspicion that
well,
there will
I mean,
be
I'm sure that
different alpha
they're-
groups.
I kind of hope not. I mean, I guess I can see your point, but at the same time, like they have a small. I mean, they have a team that can test that. I mean, their team can get on and test it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? For like a small
Anybody
group.
who has bought into alpha, I would say that we should probably argue for keeping the alpha servers online and not just having them online for like, oh, we're gonna have a weekend of alpha. Like, no. I want alpha. Like,
Oh yeah,
like
Yeah.
I don't want to play for the weekend. Like, I want to be able to play like whenever.
They
I wanna
should
play
have
for, like,
free
2 weeks,
weekends
like 3
where
weeks.
They just open it up to the public to stress test it, like like one weekend every 6 months. They just open the servers to all the backers, and they get to play test what they've got so far, just so they know where their money's going.
Yeah, I can
Maybe
imagine
not
them doing
even
something
every-
like that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe
that
not
would.
even every 6 months. Maybe every month at the end. Test a new update.
I could
Yeah.
see them doing something like what Eve does: have 2 separate servers, have a alpha test server, and then have the live server with the persistent universe.
There will definitely be a need for a testing server because, I mean, some of the features that they want to add through expansions will need to be heavily tested.
Yeah. Yeah, and that would be cool, like if they do something like that with, and then, I mean, because a lot of games will do that now too. I mean, even, well, like I play Elder Scrolls Online has a playtest server for when they release new stuff. So I mean, you can see, and they get feedback from the community about how those things work and stuff like that, and then they make changes and updates, and then when they actually release it, they take all that stuff into consideration. I think that would be smart on NovaQuark's part to do something like that.
I've been watching these screenshots go by on the stream, or like concept art. It's a lot of cool art that I haven't seen from the game yet. Like especially this one that just popped up of the big battle like going on, and there's all these ships like shooting at each other and people running away. And then of course this screenshot here of this market in space, like looks like an asteroid that's been mined out and a bunch of ships are docking.
I'm having trouble getting the stream up online to see that.
I've got the stream up, and it says currently offline.
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 Yep.
It's up on YouTube.
Same here.
All right.
We have a
Still
YouTube
up on
stream.
Beam.
Yeah, it's on YouTube also, which is cool.
We are moving up in the world. Bloody hell!
I know,
Wow.
right?
Thanks Twitch. Thanks Twitch.
But Twitch
You're being
crashed.
so reliable.
That's all right. YouTube has our back for right now.
Beam is
And
still
the
up too.
stream's offline.
Beam is still up. Awesome.
So who else here? I'm sure this question already got asked, but who else here actually got like back the Kickstarter, made a pledge?
Most of us, I think.
Most of us.
Everyone except me when I get
He's-
money.
But he's going to do that today, right?
I don't get paid until the very end of this month.
So you should do it
You
now.
don't have to pay.
Because you'll get paid. You'll get paid before the Kickstarter pulls the money. So you just it's a pledge. It's not. It doesn't come out of your account until after the 11th of October.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's only if they kind of make their initial goal.
Well, we're not adding that because they're going to make the goal. Like,
Yes, yes.
that's going to happen.
I shouldn't jinx it. Shame on me.
Yeah.
Bad Wardian.
Shame.
Wow.
Bad Space Wizard.
Twitch has been
I'm just a little
offline
bit-
for like the past half an hour.
I'm just a little bit sad that there's not more explosive support for this, because I was really hoping that we might be able to get to the the first, or maybe it was the second stretch goal of partial character customization.
Well, I mean, if we go out and tell people about it as much as humanly possible and let them know about, everything about it, don't let them get surprised about like subscriptions and stuff, we can get them to back it. But I think, I guess I was kind of expecting a little more people to know about it as well, but I'm also kind of glad that they've already almost halfway met their original goal. And it's only been, 3 days.
Yeah, I'm surprised with the communities I'm a part of. Even half of them don't even know Dual Universe exists.
Yeah, so it's kind of up to us to let people know that it does.
Oh, okay.
You.
I just have a status update. It is not just our stream that is down. Apparently, major portions of Twitch are down because tons of people are very upset about this right now. So it's not just our stream.
Twitch just died.
It's just Twitch.
Twitch died because so many people were trying to come and watch Dual Universe Explorers at once. It blew it up.
Live breaking news right now.
Twitch just went down.
I choose to believe this.
Twitch is offline. Go to the Twitch homepage. Swear to God, Twitch is offline.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Should be watching on Beam anyways. There's like almost zero lag.
Oh, well, let me do that then. Okay. Just remember.
There's a 30-second delay on Twitch, YouTube, and almost any other stream service where there is a 5 to 6 second delay on Beam.
Okay. Well, at least I can see it, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
Anyways,
Joaquim here asks in YouTube chat. Joaquim, I hope that's how you say your name. If we could ask them to make digital versions of the higher end packs as well, considering downgrading to the digital gold pack to get rid of the hassle of shipping and physical items. Yeah, there's a shipping fee on stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that when
it's 15
$30.
when they put up the digital version of the gold pack, that ended up selling quite a bit too. In fact, a lot of those have sold.
Yeah, they may be in their best interest to put up digital stuff for all the ones that they can, because a lot of the higher level ones are offering like T-shirts and stuff, physical items. So you can't really go 100% digital with those.
Just looking here, trying to count up in my head how many people are in alpha. There's going to be a lot of people in alpha.
Yeah.
We got 7 ruby packs left. Gold packs, we got 57 gold packs and 55 digital gold packs. And after that, I guess Sapphire is your last bet if you want to get alpha access. But really, between gold and ruby, it would be hard for me to settle with Sapphire. I'd be like, man, for a little bit more, I could just get lifetime access.
I got the ruby one for lifetime access.
You're not the only one, Morty.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. I never want to have to worry about that aspect.
Yeah.
I got it for the USB flash drive.
Oh my god.
That's it.
The one that looks like an arc ship?
Yep.
I'm just trying to imagine how I'm going to fit that into the side of my computer, considering how thin it is.
Just jam it in there. It always works for me.
I'm not going to actually use it.
Oh.
Oh my god, you're going to use a USB as display.
He's just going to look at it.
Yes. Well, I might
Knowing
actually use
Cayman,
it,
it's
depending
probably
on the
going
size.
to end up in a glass box with a purple pillow underneath it.
Nah.
And a light.
It depends on how large the flash drive actually is.
Yeah.
On what I'll use it for.
1/60th scale. So,
I mean,
the size of a small SUV.
It best be a 28 gig bloody flash drive.
Yeah, have they actually stated what size it is?
No, but I mean, like, it's 2018 that the stuff is shipping. If they ship us a 4 GB flash drive in 2018, like, come
You
on.
might get mad.
At least give us, like, 8, 16 gigs. 16 gig would be nice. 32. I imagine in 2018, a 32 gig flash drive will cost about the same as a 4 gig flash drive now.
Well, I hope so. You know, it's crazy. Back in 2007, and it's a really long time ago, I bought a 1 gig flash drive for $40.
Yeah, they used to be absurdly expensive whenever they first got released.
You know what I'm going to do with my DACs? I'm going to use some of them to help pay for people's subscriptions so I can get people into the game.
That's very
I think
nice.
that's the point.
Well, yeah, it's the point of any of the subscriptions above, once you have lifetime access, is either sell them or give them to people.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying
Hoard
is,
them.
I think for a lot of it, that's the point for why they have DACs in so many of these to begin with, just so you can sit there and say, hey, yeah, here, try this out. Here's this pass.
That brings up another interesting question, at least to me personally. When PvP is enabled, and I know there will be idiots that do this. I accidentally did it once in EVE Online myself. Will you be carrying Dax around on your person, step out of the safe zone, and get shot? And then proceed to lose them all? I wonder if someone will end up doing that.
I hope so. I hope that is something. I mean, like,
And he
It
hopes he's the
should
person
be.
that shoots him.
yeah. Then you're gonna pay for like armored transport. Like, no, if you want to transport something so valuable as like a month of subscription time, like, just transport it. Just pay someone who is very good at transporting stuff and securely transport it.
My biggest worry is that you'll wind up with certain zones where, new players start off and they're like, why is this huge wall surrounding this area? Oh, I'm not allowed to leave this area because some player was a jerk and built stuff right on the outskirts to keep me in. And he wants a DAC before I let him out. I'm let out.
You're the literal trolls.
Yes. Well, no, because I mentioned this because this has happened in other freeform building games before, where they've built like walls around the starting zones, and you can't get out unless you pay a toll.
I should hope that we as a community will not allow that to happen.
Trust me, we will not.
Because if I see something like that, like, I'm going to do what I can to prevent it. Because that's
Raptor Squad becomes the ultimate enforcement squad.
not intentionally, but we hate douchebaggery, or I hate douchebaggery, and if I see it, then
Scruggs, I'll personally guarantee you'll have a 200-man squad backing you up with us. Because we won't tolerate it.
Well, I mean, it takes away from the enjoyment for everybody. It's not just one person being like, oh, I just want to do what I want to do in the game. It's like, no, you're taking away something from everybody. If you ruin that first experience for someone, like, they won't come back. Like, and they'll tell people, oh yeah, this is a dumb game. It's like that. It has lasting effects. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now.
This is where I say, bring down that wall.
The success of Emberstone, I know, depends on people, new people coming in to experience the game, and walls would just ruin that.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I guarantee someone's going to try it.
That's okay.
Free resources.
There always has to. There's always got to be that one guy that we can make an example of. It's like, this is why you don't do that. But
Imprison his avatar somewhere.
I'm not a huge fan of that either, but that's okay. Some people will feel like that's a good idea.
I know we've talked about
I cannot see that.
You okay there, buddy? No, Twitch is still dead. That's going to be hilarious. Get ready for the Twitter rage.
Okay.
That's about to
So-
go down.
Someone looking at the YouTube stream, see if we can see any questions.
1 second, I'll load it up.
Sure.
Sounds
I've
like
got
they're
them all
giving-
loaded up.
According to
Hang
Jacob McDonald, it sounds like they're giving him an excuse to start a war. Yes, yes. That's where the SDF-1 comes in. I would love to be able to build something like the SDF-1, to be able to transform into a giant robot and then punch one ship into another. That would be so awesome. But no collision physics and no rotors to start.
Let's see. Were there any questions on YouTube other than that?
We haven't really asked for questions.
Yes.
All right.
There's
Like,
one
I-
asking about orbital bombardment and how that'll work.
Unknown.
Right now, it won't. They would. They said they'd need to develop a special way for that to work.
Yeah, so as of right now, we don't know.
I mean, I saw a post on the Dual Universe forums about whether or not G-Force would actually affect your ships in atmosphere.
You know, I'm not really sure about that either, because then, you know, how would you be moving around on the ship?
Well, you know you want to just go really fast and then slam on the brakes so everybody in your ship just goes flying up against the wall.
And then you go take the decks.
I'm pretty sure going into space speeds, if you went really fast, when you hit that brake, they're going to go splat and look like tomato soup on the walls.
It would look like that scene in Spaceballs when they go ludicrous speed. Try it. Does anybody remember that scene?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've gone played.
You know, they didn't specifically mention Spaceballs as one of the inspirations for the game. But I
You
kind
think
of
it
see
is?
it. Kind of would seem like it would turn into some of that.
I think that
Giant-
it's secretly the primary.
If there
Giant
was
vacuum machine robots.
if there was a downloadable, you know, pay for cosmetic change thing to, like, you know, warp drive that made it look like I'm going played wherever I go, I would pay for that.
I liked in the Kickstarter video, in the 20-minute one, they talk about how like scanning for resources will be a job. That kind of insinuates to me that rarer resources will be deeper in the ground. So like you'll have to go find somebody to actually find where that stuff is.
It may be
Otherwise-
somebody who has like a better scanner or like has better scanning skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Let's see, Jacob on the YouTube was asking about if hopefully the ships themselves will have to withstand the forces, not just the people. But I know that in the builder system, you know, the placement of your things will have an effect.
Can you imagine if what that would mean for combat? Like I imagine some of that being like if you're too close to a sun, perhaps you take damage or whatever. So like having a battle closer to the star in a solar system might like be completely different than having a battle near some other part of space, because like you also have to take into account like the forces from the sun and also like the damage you would take from it. Or perhaps like certain atmospheres might cause your ship to fly differently, so like and in a certain atmosphere your ship might go faster than somebody else's ship, so that you might like go somewhere to get away from them.
I think it'd be really interesting that you'd have to sit there and design a specific class of airframe just to fly in certain atmospheres, and that don't work in other atmospheres.
Hey guys, just really quick, Cyber Wyber, thanks so much for joining us. He says it's getting late.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's really my parents have just come in and said, "Hey, can we get some sleep?" And I thought I'm gonna be respectful for them. I'm gonna get off tonight. All right, guys.
All right.
Have a good one.
You
Thank
guys
you.
have a nice night.
Thanks.
I think that he needs to fight for his right.
To
To party.
He needs to tell his parents about how great this game is and be like, hey, you guys need to come and back this thing.
Hey, yeah.
What
You
he
guys
needs
went
to
in on the
say
next
is,
door?
he needs to say, "I want to rock."
Oh man. All right. So, let's see. It looks like I missed something here, really quick.
I did want to bring up Elaine Damasio, Alan Damasio,
Mhm.
is the person who is writing the backstory for Dual Universe. He's also written games. I believe he wrote the script for Life is Strange and also, what was the other game he wrote? He is like a co-founder of the studio that made Life is Strange. Beyond something? Anybody know? Famous French author. Regardless.
I had a list of all the things that he had worked on before. I think
So,
I mentioned it on a previous stream.
Apparently he was in the offices this week to make a new video that they'll be releasing soon that kind of covers his work on the backstory. Maybe a short interview with him or something.
I'd love to see more work from him on Dual Universe.
Yeah, I just wanted
Maybe he
to
has
bring
more
that up.
short stories, right?
In other exciting news, it sounds like not to like end the episode or anything because we're gonna be here probably talking for a bit. But in other news, it sounds like next week JC from NovaCorp may be joining us for a live Q&A.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
That's pretty exciting stuff. Like, that's awesome. I'm excited about that. I'm also nervous.
yeah. So send in your questions or start compiling your questions. I want to send over like a preliminary list to them on Monday, and hopefully get those vetted. Whatever they said that nothing's taboo, so you can ask them whatever you want, and they'll answer if they can. So
Awesome.
I mean, if I've understood anything about NovaCorp, it's that they want to be completely transparent about everything that they're doing.
Yes.
So
And
if
go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I mean, if you have any questions whatsoever about the mechanics of the game, or you want features, or you have questions about things, send them in, or tune in next week live so that you can ask them in chat and get live feedback.
Missiles, definitely missiles for me.
Space whales.
Oh my god.
Oh
Yep.
my.
So we'll need harpoon. We'll need capital ship harpoons. Right?
I think we should ask him a lot of the questions for a lot of the things that have gotten a lot of comments on threads and just seem to go nowhere forever.
Except the subscription model, please.
Yeah. No.
No, that's already been answered by them, so no, we don't need to ask him that.
Yeah. We don't want to ask them any questions that have already been beaten to death by the forums. That somebody that just came in decided they wanted to ask because they didn't read anything.
We should ask them all the silly questions and nothing but the silly questions.
You mean like, will I get a bow in the game, like in the cool
Like-
concept
no.
art?
Like a
No.
bow is in like a bow that goes on top of your helmet, or a bow is in like bow and arrow.
Like a bow and arrow.
Actually, Wardian, in one of the concept images, I actually remember seeing a bow.
That's what I'm saying. I keep on seeing that bow, and people are like, they mentioned, well, can we have something like this in this concept image? And I'm like, you forgot this one. You forgot to ask if we're going to have the bow.
How can
They-
spaceships be real if our eyes aren't real?
No, I think Nizeltar posted somewhere that there wasn't planned to be a bow like that.
No!
Oh,
First
man.
they take away my wheels, now they take away my bow.
just a bow like that. It could be an advanced like laser bow or something.
Hey, I got one in Warframe, so. No,
Well.
is that taboo? Mentioning another game?
No, it's just
No.
Warframe is not really. I'll stop there.
It's
I
not
want to
like
see.
we're talking about another specific game.
I have questions about the airships. Whatever happened to airships? Like, they were described in the lore, they were described in the first dev blog, and then everybody forgot they existed.
Hmm.
Well, I forgot they existed because this is the first time I'm even remembering anything about it.
Yeah, they're in the lore, and they're in one of the first dev blogs. It's like, the first things you'll be flying around are hover ships, or hovercraft, and airships. Like balloons.
Well,
That actually is a good question because
perhaps we should ask if that's like a translation thing where they meant like airplanes.
No, I think they meant balloons, because balloon, I think, is specifically mentioned in the lore.
It is.
yeah.
They say specifically in a balloon ship.
I must have missed that part. On the other hand, there's so many things I've read on the dev blog and on the forums now that they all kind of blend together in one like melange of chaos.
Well, I mean, maybe maybe it will be there, but I think that'd be something that'd be cool to ask about.
Yeah, like, I wonder if the first planet will have an ocean that the only way you can cross is by balloon. Like, an airship wouldn't be able to get over it, perhaps.
Or if you could make
Colonialism.
if you could actually make a ship that floats on water, that'd be kind of cool. But I don't know
Yeah, I don't
how
think that's...
doable that is.
And I was disappointed that that's being left out, but yeah, submersibles and like watercraft are not something that was on the roadmap.
That does bring another question, a really, really, really interesting one. Will we have the ability to remove the water voxel material from a underwater area?
So you can make an underwater base?
Yes. To pump
Yeah.
it out, so to say.
Water's not going to be a thing.
Well, physical water is not going to be a thing, but like, can we remove the water? Is it just a texture?
No, that's another another good question.
If I
Because
want to
let's
make
face it-
glass, do I need sand? Can I make a glass bubble underground or underwater?
And then remove the water because that's primarily. It's like if you could build a glass bubble under the water, that'd be cool. But then if you couldn't get the water out of it, it would serve no purpose.
Because let's face it, we all, at least I'm sure most of us would love to have a underwater research base or something along that line.
I mean, who doesn't want to have, your ships? I kind of want to build something where it's like, if your ship is able to go under the water, I want to have a hangar under and then have it attached to the, have maybe a glass walkway getting to the, underground and have a base under there. I don't know. That's just stuff I like to do.
Well, I think considering that we're not quite sure how planets are going to be procedurally generated. I mean, if there's a lot of water on the planet, I can't imagine you'd be able to hide resources anywhere but underwater for most of it. So the idea that we can't explore there, I think would kind of suck.
I think it's kind of along the same lines of like flying a spaceship underwater. If you can fly a spaceship underwater and water doesn't get into your spaceship, then I think that would naturally mean you can build a base underwater.
Yeah, so that'll be one of the first things. Well, not one of the first things, but I would like to try that when I can build a spaceship.
So several months into the game.
Over like, guys, I finally did it. I built a ship, and then there'll be like 30 people who've done that like way before me.
The thing about other games, like EVE Online, when I first started playing EVE Online, it's a time skill-based game. And so like I would set skills and then just stop playing because it felt like there were things that there was just nothing I could do anymore. Whereas in Dual Universe, it kind of seems like there was just going to be this endless amount of exploration and stuff to just constantly do, and people to hang out with, and places to go, and I don't know.
Well,
It just
Yama-
seems like there won't be downtime in Dual Universe.
As I see it, if they keep releasing updates and adding new technologies to research, I don't see a reason why it should have to.
Yeah,
Because I mean, it'll always be changing, updating, renewing. That's the beauty of a sandbox.
Yeah. And
Always
I think,
different.
yeah. And as long as they provide enough difference between, you know, like, let's say if I'm, because you know how sometimes there are certain skills that everybody will level just because they feel like it's useful, so they have extra time or whatever, and they feel like just leveling a skill will just level.
well, there'll be some like baseline skills everybody trains. Like, you know, there'll be some like health. Just throwing this out there, I don't know for sure, but there'll probably be some like health skills or like some basic combat skills or piloting skills that just everybody has like a baseline level 1 or level 2 or whatever that they've all trained.
Yeah.
But there will definitely be room for specialization where, like, if you want to be a guy constructing, like, warp drives, then you've trained everything that you need to be the guy that can work on warp drives.
Yeah, no, I'm just hoping that there's enough specialization in the game where, and that it takes long enough, or that it's, you know, that it is such an achievement that you don't have everybody who's just a specialist at, and also a specialist at that, because it didn't take much time. I'm hoping that everything is kind of planned out in a way that.
And
that
I don't want
it feels like an
specialization to be
achievement.
this thing that people just put skills into and then forget about, like, because
Yeah.
there's nothing to do. Like, it would be more interesting if specialization allowed you to, like, train and also partake in doing that skill at some point. Like, for example, scanning. If scanning was a skill and it went all the way to, like, level 5, you would still be able to scan at level 1. It's just that, you know, at level 5 you would be much better at it and you'd be able to like use different techniques of scanning or whatever. It's just like a progressive thing where, like, if you're still playing the game as you're like training up your scanning level, then like you hit level 3 and you can unlock this new type of scanner that you're using or whatever. Like, you don't just walk away from the game and then come back at level 5 and then have to learn all this stuff because, you know, it was too boring to do between level 1 and level 5. So just kind of like this, I don't know how I would describe that, like this iterative process of getting more gameplay features out of it in a way that makes training not boring.
Yeah. No, like I'm hoping for that same kind of thing also, where it's like, where it feels like, you know, as you're leveling the skill, that you're leveling the skills you want to use. Otherwise, what would be the point? Like, if you're leveling stuff that you don't want to just because, you know, you've already maxed out the ones that you really cared about and you still don't want to be wasting time, so you're adding, you know, leveling skills that you really don't need or don't use. I don't want them to be throwaway skills, like you were saying. I don't want throwaway skills. I want them to be where when you level it because you want it and because you're going to be doing that, and also, you know, pretty much what you were saying.
I can understand like something that would be considered a throwaway skill, where like if you train this skill, it itself doesn't give you anything, but by training it up, it unlocks other skills. So like you might need to train it to like level 3, and it would unlock like 4 other skills that all give you other different things. So it's like a baseline skill. It doesn't give you perhaps a lot of stuff or anything, but it's a prerequisite.
It makes me almost think of Dust 514's player skill system. I know some of their more advanced and prototype tiered weaponry leveling systems, you have to go, as Yama said, into level 3 on the basic tier, then go into the advanced, and then from the advanced to the prototype stage. You'd have to have 3, or I think it was advanced, 5 in the basic, and 3 into the advanced to go to the prototype. Something along that line, for instance, so you can keep progressing.
Yeah. Got awkwardly quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently there was quite a few videos released with the Kickstarter of different interviews from different YouTubers.
Oh yeah, that's right. So there was a video released by Cobra TV. That's about a 50-minute long video. That's on YouTube. Also, GameSpot released one, about 27 minutes, and then Gamer Zach released one that's about 42 minutes. So, did we put links up for those, or we just?
There's several YouTuber interviews as well, scrums out there now. The most recent one was Captain Shack, actually, meeting with JC.
Ah, excellent.
That's actually quite old.
That is?
Yeah, that was from E3.
Wow.
There's another one though too. So there's
the ones that we just mentioned were released on the 7th, 9/7, the same day that the Kickstarter was. The GameSpot one actually he actually goes to the sun and like circles the sun. It's pretty cool. You should check it out if you get the chance. Unfortunately, the sun is really tiny. He even says that it's only a placeholder. So
Yeah, it's really tiny, but it also means it's very close. Well,
Yeah.
relatively speaking. You see so much footage of like him like going to planets that are like really, really close, but you know when the game comes out, planets are going to be really far away.
I mean, not so
Yeah.
close.
And perhaps
kinda
not so
curious.
easy to see.
I'm kind of curious as to how far away those planets actually will be in game.
And how fast your ship can actually travel to them.
Yeah.
Like, is it something that's going to take an hour? Because, I mean, I wouldn't personally mind it. I think it'd be kind of
But there's
cool.
a lot. There's a lot of people that would.
I mean, okay, I think like 30 minutes, between 15 and 30 minutes to travel to another ship is planet is reasonable, because it kind of gives a job to people who are transporting stuff. Like, it shouldn't be, I don't think it will be a trivial task to just jump between planets back and forth as somebody in a little ship. Like, I think you'll need to build faster than light drives to actually get to them if you want to get to them quickly. But in the beginning, perhaps we won't have that technology, and so getting to another planet will take a very long time. And perhaps it would take such a long time that you would not want to ever do it. JC talked about how there was 4 stages of travel. There was like hover ship travel or hovercraft travel on your planet, like basic travel where it's like a planetary travel. Then there was space travel, just getting into space, and being able to fly around at a decent speed there. And then there was faster than light travel, which is what you would use to be able to get to other planets quickly. Not instantly, but fairly quickly. Much quicker, at least, than it would take at the stage before it. And then stage 4 travel would be the realm of Stargates. So there's like 4 tech tiers that exist. So it's like in tech tier 2, where you don't have faster than light travel, it would be unreasonable to expect to fly to a different planet in any reasonable amount of time. Whereas, as opposed to like a moon.
Yeah,
but if you were
like trying to walk across the planet.
Yeah, I mean, it would take forever. So you would use faster than light drives, but even those would not be like instantaneous travel. It's just that they would be
Much faster than tier 2.
Yeah.
You could be thinking of sublight drives. Yeah, I think.
Well, sublight would be tech tier 2.
A thought occurred to me of spending like a year developing characters to fulfill certain roles, so we could actually try and pull off the like the Star Trek 5-year journey. Just go explore space out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh man, in the Captain Jack interview that he did, he talks about doing something like that, like being the Starship Enterprise, like yeah, getting a bunch of people into a ship and like going exploring deep space for like, a week or two at a time, and like making those Starship Enterprise like journeys as crews.
If you're
Like-
doing that, though, Yama, I don't get why do it for just a couple of weeks. Why not design a proper ship that's capable
Exactly.
of self-sustainable harvesting and just live off the ship? Refining,
Exactly.
assembly services, everything.
Exactly. I think that would be awesome to be like just a ship, and your whole role as the ship is to just explore. Like you're not colonizing anything. You're just traveling out into deep space, going out to the middle of nowhere. And what's amazing about it too is that like there's nothing in the game that is like explicitly telling you to do that. That is entirely a goal that you as a crew of people have decided to go out into space, and it's so dangerous and unpredictable that like there's no way back home in any reasonable amount of time, and everything that you're discovering, you're completely out there alone.
That
And
almost
you're just-
brings into play my argument for wanting at least some form of stellar anomalies. Either be it wormholes, solar flares, there's several different things. Possibilities.
I'm just thinking about some of the things that might happen on a voyage like that. You start off in the Star Trek Enterprise going out there, and then you come back in a board cube because, you learned a few things along the way.
I have to agree with that.
It'd be like the ultimate game of Pulsar. Pulsar being the bridge commanding game. Like, it would be an ultra realistic game of Pulsar where if you die, like, the only thing that you're going to get is to be respawned back at your planet and to be able to tell stories about it.
Well, I mean, that's assuming, if you have an option of respawning at a planet, because I would assume a ship of that size, you would keep a respawner on there, unless you did that on purpose to
Or
not
your
have
ship
one
just-
there.
I would do it on purpose with have no respawner, just so the tails that come back. We went on a 5-year journey, and after 5 years, there's like 8 of us left. We started off with a crew with 200. It was a challenge.
Or what if your, like, respawner hasn't been refueled, or, like, when you die, there certainly would be a time limit as to the amount of time. Like, if you die, you're not going to immediately run back out into space and go shoot at stuff or whatever and die immediately because of the time it takes for your respawner to recharge.
I keep on thinking of that Star Trek Voyager show where we're stuck out in the middle of nowhere and we really have to keep track of our resources because we can't replace some of this.
That's almost part of my argument for you with wanting to bring wormholes in some sort or fashion into Dual Universe. I mean, just have them as a random occurrence, stellar anomaly that can cause damage to your ship, first of all, if you're unprepared in entering it or encountering one. And it can randomly fling you unprepared anywhere in the galaxy.
Could be interesting.
Just to add that suspense, that thrill, that just something randomly happens. Because as we all know, space is not a safe place. It's actually quite scary.
Yeah. But it'd be, I mean, just thinking about all the possible things you could do.
I mean, if there's things they're not telling us about the game, if like there's a planet with like aliens on it or something, like going out and exploring and like ending up with like an alien on your ship that nobody knows is there and nobody believes is there because nobody has seen an alien in the game yet.
Yeah, I
I
kind of
seriously thought about getting the Kyrium backer just so I could put in something like that.
I mean, that I would honestly, if something like that, if they had alien civilizations and just didn't tell us about it, I'd be okay with that. I think it would be cool to discover something like that. I think that, not knowing everything that's going to be in the game in terms of like, extra things like that, I think it would be cool. Like you just have to discover it. That it's there, like, because it's not a key part of the gameplay, but it's cool that it is there and you could discover it. I think they should make little discoveries like that. That would be awesome, though. Like you stop by and you've got a passenger you didn't know.
We are supposed to be able to rediscover alien ruins and civilizations and such. So That was one of the main design goals in the beginning.
Makes you wonder if you can find
Yeah.
some abandoned technology.
Yeah, I mean that would be cool because then it's like, okay,
Something that's not researchable, something that gives a advantage or a bonus.
for exploring.
Yes. Gives an advantage, something to make you want to go out and explore. Other than the fact of just wanting to do it.
Yeah, I mean those are the people that are going to do it anyway. Like the people that want to build like a world ship and
I think that will be the role players of the game. Like people who really want to role play their organization, I think will go to those links. Not everybody's gonna want to go on a Starship Enterprise type expedition for several weeks or months.
yeah, I probably wouldn't be one of those people. I mean, it sounds cool, but I'd want to explore the planet that I'm on.
That's why I'm gonna have 2 accounts. When people were angry at me for wanting to multi-box, like, hey, if one of my characters is on a ship, like, 7 weeks away on a journey into the middle of nowhere, like, I should be able to play that account, and then also on another computer, like, have my normal character that is not doing something insane.
Are you gonna buy 2 Ruby pledges?
I kind of did. I got an emerald.
You got the emerald? Very good, sir. Very good.
I want that level 5 pet.
Yeah,
That's
I'm almost.
I don't even know what it is.
Pets of the Gull.
It's a raptor.
That'd be awesome.
No, that better be the level 1 pet because I want that, and I want everybody in Raptor Squad to have one.
That would be awesome.
So after, while we've been talking, I've been looking at a lot of the videos that came out as soon as the Kickstarter came out. The one thing that I'm happy about all these videos is not one of them has sit there and said, it's like No Man's Sky. Which,
So glad that died out really fast. I mean, those comments. Like that.
Actually,
the comments still come
in the
like that.
GameSpot,
Mhm.
in the GameSpot video, he does mention that it's kind of similar to No Man's Sky, but JC is like, no. The only similarities is that it's procedurally generated and it's in space.
Kind of like what I was saying about Star Citizen. Like, people were asking, like, why should I back this over Star Citizen? I'm like, because they're 2 different games. Like, they're 2 completely different things. The only similarities, I think, are that they are set in space.
Yeah.
This game has spaceships, No Man's Sky. Ship has classes. Oh my god, WoW clone. Oh my god, that ship. Player-driven economy. It's EVE Online.
People who are backing Dual Universe know what they're getting into. I mean, like, they see it. They see voxels, they see spaceships, single server, and they're like, I'm in. That's what got me in. I was like, voxels, spaceships, single server. All right, let's do this.
Yeah. And you explained it really enthusiastically, and that's why I'm here.
Out of curiosity, where did you guys learn about the game? I picked up on it from the E3. When I was there.
Yama told me about it.
I learned about it from E3. I wasn't at E3. I just saw the video.
Yeah, it was at this little side place. I just stepped in, see the presentation, and it just caught my eye. I actually liked what I was seeing. So I stayed the entire hour. Watched the entire thing. And then I came here.
Wait, tell us about this presentation. I haven't heard about this.
It's basically just a on-stage demonstration with video. The very first video. At least that I remember.
That's the one where he got up on stage and he did like the short interview too afterwards.
Yeah, I think. It was back in, I think it was June or July.
I mean, when it said in the trailer everything is player made, I'm like, all right, that's it. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want in the game. You just give us the world, put some skill systems on top of it, and give us free access to explore. Like, all right, I know what you guys are doing just based on that statement alone.
You know, I have a feeling I might actually be one of those people that go out and explore. I know it doesn't appeal to a lot of people, but I might be one of them. I like that type of thing.
You mean like a Starship Enterprise type of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except I'm
I'll join
also
you.
a ship designer. If you've ever seen some of the projects I've done on Space Engineers, I'm known to take 6 months to design a single ship. There's one I did on Space Engineers that took me literally 6 months, weighed when I finished probably 400 million kg. The thing was so massive, it actually had a hangar where you could hold 40 plus fighters in it. I would love to do something like that in Dual Universe and then live off of that ship
By
in
yourself?
Dual Universe. By myself or a very limited crew.
Just be by yourself floating off into space for months at a time?
Let's face it, I'm a loner, naturally. I don't like people.
I think that you could even make money just commissioning ships, like designing the blueprint and then just selling ships off to people. Like, here's your single explorer ship. Like, do you want to be? If that's what you want to do in the game, by all means, just buy one of these and have fun.
I think that's where a lot of these organizations like Objective Drive Yards and a few of the other engineering corporations out there that are on the community hub will have their success from.
Well, I find it very interesting in the idea that a lot of people want to do that type of thing, but just like in reality, you may sit there and say, I want to design like my own version of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and watch it tank. Why? Because you turn out you're not very good at it.
Well, at least you can practice and get better.
Yes. I mean, it'll come down. It'll be very interesting to see, like, which one of these groups that are planning on starting engineering companies actually succeed because their designs work well or fulfill the niches that are needed.
I mean, you have everywhere from mining, exploration, military services, surveying, simple planetary transports, taxi service.
I mean, just thinking about some of the stuff that we do nowadays, for instance, I can see like beginning space exploration. Well, we made this thing so it comes apart in like different sections, and like this is the drive that'll get you out of atmosphere. This is the drive that'll get you interplanetary. This is the drive that'll get you interstellar, and you can get rid of it as soon as you run out of fuel or whatever. We have no idea how ships are going to be made yet. It's going to be kind of crazy in the beginning, I imagine.
I want to, if I am on a space station, I would like the space station to be organized appropriately from like a docking perspective. Like, I want like a radio crew that sits in a tower and like actually organizes where ships come in. So like a docking request comes in from a ship, and then they route where the ship goes so they can dock, and then there's like a big screen that keeps track of what docking bays are full, etc. Like, I want it to feel like going to an airport.
Okay, I can imagine that. I can also see that, for the same reason that people were design space stations for like military aspects, so they're not easily boarded. If you get in there, if you don't know your way around, it's a freaking labyrinth.
Yeah. Well, I like
turrets.
No, I like that would be cool. Anything, honestly, like I'm kind of all for anything that creates additional things to do in the game. Like, even if it's not something I personally would enjoy, somebody would like doing that. Like, there are people that play that Microsoft flight sim thing, and they do that all day. Like, they love that stuff. I think that would be cool because somebody would really enjoy doing that. And they do it really well.
I just see so much potential for this game, and just for what it has already. I mean, never mind what they plan on introducing later, which I have no idea. I would really like to see a bigger roadmap or a more detailed roadmap.
Yeah, well, I mean, I see as we get closer to, towards alpha and things like that, they'll probably start being a little more detailed with what they plan on putting on it. But for right now, I mean, it's basically just get everything up to where we can try it out.
Yes. Oh, apparently the in-game pet, it's a mechanized pet robot that will follow you everywhere. The higher the version, the shinier it will be.
Oh, so I'm good that I've got like a level 2, or I'll get like a level 1 with the gold, because I don't need a shiny robot. I want it to be matte, because if it's shiny, you can see me from far away. Not okay with that.
I forget where I saw it, but I remember seeing a concept art for it. Have you guys seen that somewhere?
I have not.
I'm sure it's on their media page.
I've seen it
sure of
somewhere.
it.
I just can't remember where. I'm trying to find it right now.
One of my first concepts I gave to them was for a mini robot pet.
Does it do anything other than just be your pet?
It gives you tsundere comments to make you hate your life but keep going.
So they kept some of it. They're like, we'll take the robot pet part, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. It might still say things like, humans are just worthless meatbags or something.
I'm okay with that. I mean, it's pretty true.
Like, I could help you pick that item up, but it's funnier to watch you do it.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that. I would keep it on all the time, no matter how irritating it seemed to other people.
That's pretty good.
I think it'd be great if, like, you had one and I had one. They would start whispering with each other and looking at you kind of funny.
Yes.
So now I'm glad I can have
Portal, anyone?
Portal.
Yeah, Portal. Have you ever played Portal?
Oh, yes.
How the AI talks to you in Portal?
Yeah. Or like, I like, I love the way it treats you in Portal. And also, there was a Star Wars game, Knights of the Old Republic, with HK-47.
Yes.
Yeah, he calls you meatbag all the time. Says really mean things to you.
Best robot ever.
Like every time he talked, I laughed because it was hilarious.
Thank you, Neo. I knew I was trying to find out, and it was in the wrong place.
I don't know if that's what you were thinking about, but that's what I posted to them anyway. I have no idea if they will, if they even considered that or not. Their idea could have been purely unique. I'm sure that it probably was.
No, I take it back. The screenshot I remember is it's like the ships you see a lot in the trailers. It's about knee high. It looks like it's either on 4 or 6 legs, like a tripod, with a rectangular head front. I forget how to describe this exactly, but it's black and white, metallic. I've seen it somewhere, and it's driving me mad that I cannot find it.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, maybe if we find it, we can throw it up there next time. It'd be cool.
Maybe next episode, JC can give us a few sneak peeks.
Yeah, that would be awesome too. All right. I'm thinking. I think we've covered pretty much.
Yeah,
everything.
we pretty much covered everything this week.
Yeah.
Got next week's going to be really exciting. Kind of going to stress me out for a week planning for it.
But it'll be worth it though when we have JC next week. So that'd be awesome.
Don't take it out on your paper crafts.
Yeah. So, I mean, at this point, we've already talked about everything for the week. Yama, did you have anything else?
I don't know if there's anything else anybody wants us to cover. It looks like as we've been streaming, they've raised another 2,000 euros, which is cool.
Oh, phenomenal.
Yeah, if anybody, I'm sure everybody that's watching is probably in Discord. So yeah, hop on into Discord. Let's play a game or something this evening. I'm down for anything. I mean, Empyrean would be cool, or Space Engineers. But let's do something.
All right. Cool.
Anyways, I guess thanks everybody for tuning in. And if you're out there on YouTube, thank you for watching.
Catch you next week, everybody.
Take care and good flying.
All right. Have a good week, everyone.
Have a good one, everybody.
Again, next week's episode will air. We're not sure exactly what time next week's episode will air, but stay tuned on Twitter to our Twitter account, DUExplorers, and we'll keep everyone updated on exactly what time and date. We're hoping to possibly get JC to do an interview with us if that all comes together well. Otherwise, have a great week, everyone. Thanks for watching.